Unfortunately, over the last few years, we've been seeing Saudi Arabia um, going against the Sharia in order to become modern. They've been doing things which no Muslim country should be doing. Never mind a country which has two of the three holiest mosques in Islam. And now we're seeing that there's a building that's being built or is already built that looks like the Kaaba. Saudi to build a giant cube called the mukaab in the Riyadh new city centre, big enough to hold 20 Empire State Buildings. The mukaab, which means the cube, will use hologram technology of luxury retail, hotels, apartments, and more. Although it seems like they're trying to compete with the Kaaba, and the shape of the building is like the Kaaba as well. Um, the the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman or anybody else in Saudi who's behind this hasn't called it the Kaaba, so we shouldn't be calling it the Kaaba and giving it relevance. If they are calling it the Kaaba, why should we be calling it the Kaaba? It may look like the Kaaba, but it's not the Kaaba. We know that, but they haven't called it that, so we shouldn't be calling it that. If they called it the Kaaba, we could be saying, we could put it in quotation marks, or we could say they called it the Kaaba, but they haven't called it the Kaaba, so there's no reason for us to call it the Kaaba. Many people aren't just saying that it looks like the Kaaba; they are saying the Kaaba in Riyadh or other ways of saying it, but there is no need to use the word Kaaba for this building, apart from what it looks like. Fair enough, you can say it looks like, but it isn't the Kaaba. But I've seen too many Muslims, particularly, that are calling it the Kaaba when it's not, and you're disrespecting the Kaaba by calling this building the Kaaba. But I'm not surprised that they're doing this. First, they're doing small things, then they're doing more and more things. Before you know it, who knows, they might do things that are beyond our imagination. Like 20 years ago, nobody would have thought they'd do something like this. In 10 years' time, they might do other things, like maybe they'll create other things that are holy, that look like holy things. For example, you have a Kaaba, and then you have this building that looks like it. Maybe they'll create. Well, I can't think of anything else that they could create, because a mosque is a mosque, and the Rawda is the Rawda. They can't replicate those things, and I don't think they would do that. But then again, it is the Saudi regime. Who knows? They might do that, but there's things that you don't expect them to do that they are doing. So anything that you don't expect them to do, they will do it, and it seems like they're not afraid of anything. And maybe they'll I can't even think of anything, but you can see the direction that they're going in, and whatever Islam is left in the country, it's only going to get more diluted. Like 20 years ago, someone went to Hajj, and then asked someone who went maybe 3 years ago before the pandemic, or ask that same person who went 3 years ago, they would tell you there's a huge difference, and 10 years' time, it's going to be more different, and with this sort of becoming modern, but not only becoming modern by going against the Sharia, it's not going to go well for the country, and people are waking up to it, and the fact that Muslims are speaking out against it shows you that we speak out against all wrong things, not just wrong things done by other people. This is done in Saudi, and we're speaking about it, and we should be, and hopefully these things like this building doesn't generate the money and the tourism and whatever else that they hope, and then they realize that it hasn't worked. They realize the error of their ways and they stop doing silly things like this.